Hello again, and today we're here testing the new G410 LST Driver. Ryan Rastall here for Golfshake.com, and as I've said today, we're testing the new Ping G410 LST Driver. And don't forget, if you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button, see loads more content on the latest clubs for 2019. We're here in the Performance Centre at Howley Hall Golf Club, taking a look at this driver on the Trackman. We've been out on the golf course and hit some shots out there. Absolutely love the ball flight out there, but let's have a look at it on here. Let's get some data, some numbers, and take a look. But first, we'll talk about the technology, right? So G410's been out for a little while, since the start of the year. Why have they brought out LST? So that's low spin technology, all right? So basically, for those players who need slightly lower spin, maybe the slightly higher club head speed players amongst us maybe need that. So this model is going to suit you. So it's a 450cc head, which is smaller than some out there on the market. And that's how we're able to make the driver slightly lower spin. So it moves the CG a little bit closer to the face and basically makes the spin characteristics slightly lower by about 200 to 400 RPM generally. Got the very similar features to the G410 driver. So it's got the movable weight, Dragonfly internal technology there in the head. It's got the forged face. So all of those things that they've brought over from G410. And we were lucky enough to test the normal version of G410, the Plus version, in Orlando earlier on in the year with Marty from Ping, and he talked us through all the technology, and he'd been fairly instrumental in its design as well. So check that video out if you haven't done already. But yeah, the low spin version really aimed at that higher club head speed player, maybe wants to flight the ball down a little bit more, and maybe more of a sort of shot shape kind of player, someone who wants to move it both ways. A little bit less forgiving, obviously, but still a really, really good driver to go out there and test. It's still got the same adjustability as all Ping drivers do now. So basically it has the 8 different positions that you can set, the loft and lie and things like that too, to help you really dial it in for your ball flight. Lucky enough to go down to Ping a few weeks ago and actually be fitted for a driver. So this one has been fitted for me. The LST wasn't out at the time. So I tried the G410 Plus and was fitted for that, but every single thing about the spec is the same. So I've got the even flow black shaft, extra stiff, 75 gram, so it's slightly heavier. 9-degree head set down to 8, and also the weight there in the toe because I'm a big drawer of the ball and sometimes hook it a little bit. So let's hit some shots with it on the Trackman, see how it performs, and we'll give you a bit of a verdict. So now that we've hit some both outside and in here on the Trackman, let's take a look at the numbers that we've got and see how it's performed. So straight away we can see the ball speed is really good. So I always look, anything over 170 miles an hour for me is pretty good. So it's really transferring my club head speed into ball speed very effectively. The driver sounds great when you hit it. It's kind of that characteristic Ping noise that you get to hear from a Ping driver. I really like it. It feels really solid as well when you hit it. The shaft, I think, felt great. So the club felt very stable through the swing. And the ball flight that we've seen both outside and on the Trackman in here, just a nice little sort of draw really that I was hitting, which is what I'd expect to hit when I'm out on the golf course there. So I felt it was really forgiving, to be honest, even though it's a slightly smaller head. When I didn't quite hit the middle of the face, I was still getting some really good results. Spin wise, it's not as low as I would expect for, you know, it's obviously called a low spin driver. Normally I'm a high spin sort of player anyway, but generally anything around that 2,700 RPM that we've seen there is acceptable. I'd like to get that down a little bit because I feel, you know, I'd maybe get a bit more run, but, you know, averaging just about 290 carry is kind of what I would expect on a really good day and if I was hitting it well. So, so looking at those numbers on the Trackman there, really happy with the performance of it. But overall, I thought the club looked great at address. It's very confidence inspiring. It doesn't look smaller than a 460 head. And like I say, the feel was great, the ball flight was great, and having this club built for me and actually in the spec that I would play with is obviously a massive advantage. So I would always tell people to go out there and try one that's actually fitted for you. Don't just grab one off the shelf and go and hit it. Go and see somebody who knows what they're talking about and can help you get the right driver for you. But you will not be disappointed with this. Really, really good golf club. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment below if you did. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it. Ask us some questions as well. Do you want to know more about this driver? Have you already got the G410 Plus and want to know the kind of difference between the two? Just send us a message and we'll get back to you and let you know. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and we'll see you all very, very soon.